Doug MPA back with another video. So guys, women are the fastest increasing incarcerated population in the United States. I mean, you can see it on social media. Most of the time when you see two people fighting in 2023, it's two women. Most of the time when you see someone assaulting a waiter or someone behind the counter at a restaurant, it's a woman. The whole Karen thing, all of it. And so I found this article, What Working at Wisconsin's Female Prison Has Taught Me About Trauma, Addiction, and Hope, where this woman is trying to explain away the increase in female incarceration by saying, "Oh, all this trauma they carry around, and the addiction and the mental health." And guys, as we go through this article, do you think any of this grace and understanding will be given to any of the men that are incarcerated? No, of course not. So before we get into this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's see what this Bethany Lurch has to say about the increase in female incarceration. It says, "What working at Wisconsin's female prison has taught me about trauma, addiction, and hope. It is staggering to witness their anguish while also understanding that much of what they carry is due in large part to as mental health, trauma, and addiction." So Bethany Lynch is a psychological associate at Tychita, Wisconsin Maximum Security Facility for Women. She cites data that shows that the rates of women being incarcerated is growing rapidly. We all know that. Poverty, generational trauma, and addiction are driving the rise. Okay, I've seen some things in my life. Corrections wasn't one of them. Then last fall, I began as a psychological associate at Techita, Wisconsin's maximum security facility for women. Although I've always known some people are confined, I've never known much about prison. The idea of women as prisoners clashed with my understanding of women as caregivers, but I wanted to help. You see this right here? This is a problem with society, guys. Women delete more babies and elderly each year than men. If you hear that a baby, was deleted, I can't say the M word, especially under a year old, who do you picture? It's the woman. I don't know why we still have these stereotypes. Clash with my understanding of women as caregivers. Modern women are not caregivers. For the most part, I say women under 30. A 2022 report by the Brennan Center for Justice showed rising violent crime like murder and assault. While men still constitute the vast majority of offenders, the number of women has been climbing. In fact, a 2022 report by the Justice Research and Statistics Association showed that females are the fastest growing demographic across all incarcerated settings. Bam, there it is. Right here, guys. Fastest growing demographic across all incarcerated settings. You can thank feminism for that. Apparently, women are trying to be equal to men when it comes to violent crime, robberies, carjackings, deletions, all that stuff. Incarceration encompasses jail and prison, and there are levels of custody between municipalities and counties, state and federal. There tends to be more women held in jails than state prisons. It's because women get lighter sentences. Remember, jail is for anything less than a year and a day. Anything over a year and a day, you go to prison. With an additional 1 million or so on probation and parole. Probation is community supervision before prison. Parole and extended supervision are for after someone is released. Data for women always trails because males are incarcerated at a larger scale. The U.S. Department of Justice last published statistics on women offenders back in 1999, guys. This article is in 2023. What is going on? That tells you about our system right there. What? Too much time has lapsed for those numbers to be reliable, and yet there is a thread that has remained the same. Most women come into prison having experienced tremendous trauma. Female offenders are typically, abused before their first offense, with 1 in 4 violent girls having been, essayed, compared to 1 in 10 nonviolent girls. Now, that's a tragedy, guys. That is a tragedy. But once again, it is your responsibility to work out your issues, and women don't get a pass for committing crimes because they were SA when they were younger. If if guys did, I would say yes, women should too, but guys don't get it, so women shouldn't either. Equality, fairness. Why turn to criminality? According to marginalization theory, victimization of women is a leading factor in what compels them to commit crime. Marginalization also includes criminality as a response to economic insecurity. Women in prisons are overwhelmingly poor, and most live well below the poverty line. Risks of crimes increase when the number of children swells and women become heads of households. See, it always comes back to single mothers, guys. Single mothers are the biggest issue in the failure of the West right now. Tell me I'm lying. 1 in 28 children has an incarcerated parent, which is a collateral consequence on effect of incarceration. Statistics Association showed that about 2/3 of incarcerated women are mothers, guys. 2/3 of incarcerated women are mothers. Yikes. So the prison she's in, less than half of its population being parents. Missing mom and dads are due to long-term offending can impact generations. There it is. More trauma. Trauma is rampant, occurring as a result of lived violence, the A word, neglect, loss, and other kinds of emotionally harmful experiences. Trauma gets worse when coupled with drugs and alcohol, often but not always used to numb the effects of having endured so much pain. Okay. 93% of women at Techita have a mental health diagnosis. And I would question that because remember, they always try to look for reasons why women act abnormal, but not for men. So I would question these mental health diagnoses. As a clinician here, it is staggering to witness their anguish while also understanding that much of what they carry is due in large part to mental health concerns, especially trauma and addiction. The role of security staff can't be understated. Correctional officers work long hours amid tensions and mitigate risk constantly. They witness people who cannot bear the weight of how they have been hurt and gone on to hurt others, including themselves. Correction is not simple, and the dedication of staff deserves recognition. Colleagues, uniform and non-uniform alike, are courteous, helpful, and professional. It is a testament to their commitment to public service and those in their care. And I have to give her credit here because I couldn't be a correction officer. It ain't happening. There's no way. So if you do this kind of work, more your hats off to you. All the respect from Doug MPA over here. So mental health, addiction, and trauma are not conversationally popular, but the most effective solution is in-house, literally at home. Be aware and as much as you can of what your loved ones are experiencing, and then walk with them to offer support. Let's recap here. All these women have gone through some kind of trauma, and that's why they're in a maximum security prison. You know what kind of crimes you have to do to end up in a maximum security prison, especially as a woman? And the thing that Miss Bethany doesn't understand is, I said it earlier in the video, people that don't know you, the world doesn't owe you understanding about your trauma. You have to fix it. And also, men don't get any of this kind of understanding. I wonder if she's to do the same study for men. She wouldn't. Let me know what you think about this in the comments because, this seems to me like another attempt to just try to explain it away and excuse all the bad behavior of women in a maximum security facility. Like the videos, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.